What up, y'all? It's Chris Weathers, aka ShortyC94, back at you again with another episode of Nike or Die. The last offering was a little mini-so with me and cool boy Ike, my son. This time it's just me. It's March 1st, 2018. Just on my way to work. It's currently raining like a motherfucker in Euclid, Ohio. But since the last episode, cement threes, the black cements have come out, free throw lines have come out. The quote-unquote bread toe one has come out. You know, the three was a success. Of course, the free throw line and the JTH, all of that was a success due to being limited. Any Jordan 1 with OG or OG-like colored blocking is going to be successful. I think these ones were supposedly of shattered backboard / royal / black and red quality. So I have not got to hold a pair in my hand yet. I didn't even, with the wife buying me the black cement threes, I didn't even try to get the ones. And just kind of, it's one of those decisions of being an adult. Like, I have the actual OG black toe pair from 2016 that I don't really wear all like that. So, as well as 94 Chicago's, I have the AJKO, a couple of, just white, black, and red ones. So it wasn't a huge deal for me to get them. I don't think that they're going to be on the level of a shattered backboard, just with the similarity to other colors. But they look nice in the pictures. A lot of places around here didn't really get them. A lot of people from this area ended up going to places in Akron. There were actually just as many, if not more, places in Akron that got these than Cleveland. So, we also had the Air Max 98 Gundam come out. It sold out, due to the hype. Nike placed it only in, boutiques. Wasn't like widespread, I guess, as much as the Tour Yellow was. I hate that I missed that. I used to have the white, blue, and red 98 back in the day. They lasted for about 11 years before crumbling. So crumbled on me in like 2009. I might have even made it to 2010 with them. But, with them being this way now, it's where, Next got them. And if I really wanted them, I probably could have tried to get them and finagle something. But, the way Nike does it now, they're just going to restock at some point anyway. They do it with Jordans. Air Maxes are obviously a different crowd, a different audience. But at the same time, Nike is about making money. And if the shoe is gone like that, we'll see it again. So I'm not tripping on it. I know I kind of went circular because I said I wanted it because I had it. And then I said if I really wanted it. But, it's all good. They're really trying to make the 98 cool. And, it's nothing wrong with it, I guess. But for older people that have been doing this, the 98 isn't really one of those Air Maxes, you look at the Holy Order is 87 or Air Max 1, whatever you want to call it. Air Max 90. The 180. The BW. The 93 for some reason. The 95. The 97. The Air Max 03. And then all the Air Maxes from 2009 all the way up to the Vapor Max are very similar. So I couldn't even, after 2009, it probably would jump right to the Vapor Max as far as, you know, what people look at as true classics or whatnot. You know, even with the Vapor Max, I still don't have a pair. I wanted to Nike ID a pair when they took the Air Max 95 off of Nike ID for my wedding shoe, but you know, when we were considering doing this, because my wife was going to design a shoe and I was going to design a shoe, the Vapor Max, all they had was the flag options, where you could make like a white, blue, and I guess a little bit of red, but it was more so black, you know, with the USA flag, or you can make one with the Germany flag, you know. But that wasn't really what I wanted to do, because I wanted to make the shoe our wedding colors, and our wedding colors were white, teal, and yellow. So, you know, but I ended up going with a KD9 that was our exact colors, and they weren't really that much money. They still have Flyknit on them, so. But there hasn't really been a Vapor Max colorway where I'm like, fuck, I need those. Like, the BHM was nice, but to me, with that, they should have did something with the air bubbles. Like, if they had made the air bubble red, or made the air bubble multicolor, or made it green, or something like that. I'm not really a fan of blacked out air bubbles. In fact, the only shoe I think I have, as far as a runner with a blacked out air bubble, I have a pair of Volts Air Max 2012s that are that way. So that's really it. I'm not really a fan of it. I like for Air Maxes to be colorful. You know, getting a black and red shoe, I mean, I might as well, I guess I shouldn't say I might as well wear a Jordan, but, you know, I don't really look at black and red as an Air Max kind of thing. I like for my Air Maxes to be kind of a white base or a gray base with blues and greens and yellows. You know, that's how I like for my Air Maxes to be. They've also taken the Vapor Max air bubbles and put them on a bunch of classics, which is, you know, Nike's done this before. They did it with the Air Max 360 bottom. You know, they did it one time only with the 95, the 97, the 90, the 1, if I'm not mistaken. So it doesn't really surprise me. I'm pretty sure they've probably even done it with the Air Max 2009 through 17 bubble on some classics. I can't really think of if they have or not, but I think so. If not, you know, then they didn't. But and this freeway is crowded. I'm on 90 East now. Now I'm by Eddie, trying to get off. But you know, I want a pair of Vapor Maxes though. My wife, her birthday is April 30th. She wants that Hyper Punch pair. Now, if that pair came in like a women's 13, which would be like a men's 11 and a half, I would cop that. You know, I'd even rather, before black and red on the Air Max, I would even rather have pink, orange. You know, that's a raw color. And then they make a women's 12, which I probably could fit, but I like for my Air Maxes to be roomy. You know, and I'm really a men's 11.5, 12, so going back down to a 10.5 is doable depending on how the shoe is made, but it's not always the most uncomfortable. Because even when you take out the air bubble, it just fits like an uncomfortable 11. So, you know. Then going forward, the Taxi 12 was supposed to come out on March 18th, but now, according to my sources, they're not. So, I don't know. I kind of am glad, because the Taxi is one of my all-time favorites. I do have a pair from 1996 that's still in really good shape, wearable, you know, fine. I kind of regret not getting a pair from 2013, even though they were made like shit, just to, you know, have a fresh pair. So I know that pair would still look probably brand new. But after coming out with the gold toe and the black cement 3, the Timberlake 3, the free throw line 3, bread toe 1, you know, it would have been a little much to come out with the Taxi as well, you know, but I do feel like this year is going to be heavy as far as Jordans. And, you know, apparently they're switching plans and stuff all the time at Nike with Jordan Brand. You know, I know that the Hyper Royal, as they're called, 13s are supposed to come out. And so basically the trend of them coming out with classic Chicago colorways and switching them with blue will continue. The 13s don't actually look that bad. They were friends and family release in the past. You know, they're not bad. And then you got the Flyknit 3, which actually also isn't that bad. You know, I wouldn't pay, you know, what they want retail for them, but, you know, they're not that bad. For me, that's saying a lot, because I usually don't like when they put new technology on old shoes. You know, the Flyknit 1 wasn't that bad, but I just couldn't see paying $200 for that. And the leather pair is $160. Now, if I was in a different climate, if I wasn't in Cleveland, if I was, I don't know, in Florida or Los Angeles or, you know, down south, even though some places down south still be a little cold, but, man, if I was in a different climate, I probably would have a different opinion on the shoe. There's certain Flyknit shoes that I have that, you know, they can really only be worn when it's nice outside. You know, one of my probably my all-time favorite Flyknit shoes, the Flyknit Chukka, but I only really wear them in the spring and summer. You know, if we have an Indian summer, a nice fall or whatever, I might, you know, come with some. But, you know, 3 has kind of a Cause vibe to it with the glow-in-the-dark bottom. You know, so it's not a bad idea, but, you know, nothing that I will have. There's also a pair of Jordan 3s for Seoul, Korea. It's a 30th anniversary of the 1988 Olympics. They're going to have Nike Air on the back, so that's a decent looking shoe. Again, it's not going to be anything I can get anyway, because that's kind of Pino E even described it as a unicorn. So usually, you know, when that's used in a shoe sense, it's something that's damn near impossible to get or to find. You know, Nike, they may have it on the sneakers app, but it's probably going to be a draw. And, you know, with people still using bots where they can enter you in over 100 times compared to me just entering one without a bot, chances are quite slim. So, it's surprising to me that they still haven't figured out a way to combat these bots. But, then you got your influencers who are going to have the shit just because of, who they are. But, I don't know. Other than that, there is also a quote-unquote Game Royal pair of Jordan 1s, which is basically the Chicago, but instead of it being red, it's blue. And they're decent, but as reported by some of the people that I follow in the shoe game, there isn't as much hype with it. There was a 1.5 version of the shoe a couple years ago, and there was a rare air version too. So maybe without those pairs, maybe people will look at this pair differently. It's still OG color blocking, so I still think people are gonna go after it, but it's not gonna be on the level of how the bread toe, I hate saying bread, but I can't think of anything else to call the shoe. It's not going to be as hyped as that. The allocations are supposedly going to be the same, so we'll see. There's nothing really upcoming that I'm really looking forward to. Maybe in the distant future, Shadow 1, but there's so much fuck shit in the shoe game now, especially here in Cleveland, and whoever is listening to this is probably fuck shit in your city too. People get funny style with them ones, even if you have a supposed plug or a guy that gets you shoes, it's always different with the ones. So, the Shadow was really the only OG one that I want that I don't have. When they came out in 2013, I was still kind of new at Next, and I wasn't really getting the hours. I was like a manager in training, so I didn't have the money at the time to get them. And they were cheaper. They probably won't be made as good as this year's version, but what are you gonna do? Usually when I see pairs now, if I look hard enough, I usually see pairs for around $250, which isn't really a bad price for a Jordan 1 in this hyped era where everybody loves Jordan 1s. But for me, being 37, it's an $80 shoe. So paying twice, paying $80 twice for retail is enough, but paying another $90 on top of it, and I just can't see it. That's why I don't have them, because one of the proudest things I can say is for all the shoes I have, I've only paid over $200 for a shoe twice in my life. At my time working at Next, they gave me an opportunity to get the black and red one in 2013, but all they could give me was a 12, which I should have took, but like a moron, I wanted an 11 or an 11 and a half. Now most of the ones I buy are 12s anyway, so and they just played the shit out of me this last time, so I ended up getting them from a well-connected fellow that I'm cool with that was able to get them from Next, though I couldn't get them. So, that's kind of crazy, but, it is what it is. He only charged me $214 for them, which that's over retail, but it's not that bad. Other than that, which is kind of recent, September of 16, that's like a year and a half ago. Maybe a little more, a year and a half, but other than that, I paid $300 for my OG Air Carnivores in 2006. Now you can get a pair of Carnivores on eBay for $150. They retroed in 2010. I got my pair of retro Carnivores for $18 from Avalon Exchange like 3 years ago. So to pay $18 for a pair And that be a pair that I've paid the most money for in my shoe buying days is crazy. So, yeah, paying over is not something that I do. So, I'd have to really consider it. I mean, the only other shoe, which I guess technically that I have that's paying over, is the wife had bought me the South Beach 8s for my birthday last year in December. And they were at Avalon Exchange, and they were $300, so that's like $140 over retail, but it was 7 years after the release, you know. So, yeah, paying over is not something that I ever do. I just won't have the shoe, because it's shoes I want, shoes I'd love to have, but not willing to pay over. Not looking down or hating on anybody who does, because that's like a regular part of the shoe game now, but just not for me. Take it back old school Kevin Hart, the way my money is set up. So, but yeah, there's nothing really that I'm looking forward to on the shoe side. There was news that supposedly confirmed that there is going to be a black and red 4 come out next year. There's no date. It's probably going to be All-Star next year, because next year will be the 30th anniversary of those, and Michael Jordan wore them the first time, All-Star game, 1989 in Houston. Karl Malone was the MVP. So, yeah, but yeah, I can't really think of anything that's coming out that I would like. Those other Air Max 98s with all the colors on them, nicknamed the Rugrats or whatever, those would have been cool to have too, but that was on some overseas. That was a size release, I believe. So they always get good runners overseas. Like I remember, was it 2014 or 15? They had the Air Max 94, not the Air Max 294, the one I said that I would shank somebody over in my Instagram posts. But the regular Air Max 94, it looks sort of like the Air Burst. You know, they had those as a size exclusive. I wouldn't mind having a pair of the gray and blue ones like that, or even the purple ones, but you know, it'll come or it won't. So I guess with there not really being any shoes coming out that I really want, I guess it'd be an opportunity to put my money towards shit at the house, which is probably what I should do anyway. But, you know, I've kind of gotten back on a McFarlane kick too, because I set up all of my NBA McFarlane figures in the rec room of my house. So on one ledge, I have all of the Laker legends, well, the ones that they make at least, and on the other side, it's a bunch of different LeBron ones. It's kind of old and new. It starts with Dr. J, George Gervin. Then it goes into Larry Bird, Dominique Wilkins, Clyde Drexler. I do have all of the Upper Deck Michael Jordan figures, only 4. It's the 85 dunk contest, the 88 dunk contest, the 91 finals where he switched his hands with the ball, switched hands against the Lakers, and the final shot against the Jazz. So as of right now, I've only found the final shot against the Jazz, so I still have to find the other 3. But, you know, it's a lot of variant McFarlands that I want. Like, I want the Wilt Chamberlain one. Because he's a Laker legend. He's one of the few I don't have. But the variant Lakers one, it's like, most times when I find it, it's like $200. Where the 76ers one, you can get for like $20. But I guess they made less Laker ones. I do want to add Pau Gasol to the Lakers one. And, you know, Kareem, they don't make a Kareem. If they did, you know, I would have his too. So, but, you know, that's about it. I do appreciate you all for listening. Make sure to follow me on YouTube. Channel is just Chris Weathers. You'll know it's me because the picture is me holding a original Playoff 8. Follow me on Instagram if you're not already at ShortyC94. And we'll see you guys soon. Thank you for listening. And yeah, I'll see you soon. So you guys be blessed.